been a ton of talk about how 2026 is the year of the fire horse and how 2025 was the year of, I think it was the wood snake, and how 2025 we were really shedding our skin and leaving behind the things that didn't serve us. And I really feel like a ton of my readings in 2025 really talked a lot about shedding your skin, about leaving the things behind, about walking away from whatever wasn't serving you any longer, right? So we've done all of that work and we're going into the year of the horse. I keep saying house, the fire horse. And what we need to focus on, what we're looking at is the action, right? Fire is action, fire is passion, fire is the thing that lights us up, right? So when you're talking about tarot, fire is the sign of wands. And I was thinking about, since 2026, the tarot card is the magician, which, if you're not familiar with numerology, it's 2 plus 2 plus 6. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is brought down to 1. That makes 2026 a 1 year, and the 1 card is the magician. So I was thinking about the magician in relation and in addition to the Knight of Wands. And the Knight is a very action-oriented card, right? In the court cards. So I was thinking, and I thought we'd look at a couple of different decks, but I'm going to start with the Waite Smith Radiant, which is what I use most of the time. So if we're looking at the magician, and what does the magician tell us? The magician tells us that we have all the tools that we need, that we are the master of our own destiny, that we are able to do all of the things that we want to do, and we just really need to activate the magic within us. Is that a fair statement? I think so. So, and with the Knight of Wands, it's all about movement. The Knight is an action card. The Wands are a fire. They're a passion. It's about creativity. And this is, I think, a great year for the things that we want to create, the things that we want to bring about into the world, right? So get your magic, get your action, get your motivation, all of that together in order to make the most of 2026 and the year of the fire horse. So I thought we'd take a look at some of the different cards in different decks. As I said, this is the Waite Smith Radiant deck. And let's start with the magician. So here is the magician, and you can see he has all his tools. He has the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. He's in a place of power. He's got one hand up and one hand down, as above, so below. And he has the serpent belt, right? And that's really interesting considering that we're leaving behind the serpent. So I almost feel like this is a great intro into what we're doing this year. What is the energy that we're working with? And with the Knight of Wands, he's really moving forward. He's not going as fast as, say, the Knight of Swords, but he is on a mission. The horse is rearing up, the horse is ready to go, and they're literally, maybe figuratively, on fire. And that's what this year is going to be for me. It's really about bringing my magic forward and using my magic to really express my creativity, to really explore my passions, and to really get serious and create magic around what lights me up. So that's what I'm doing. If that resonates for you, join me. I love this idea so much. So then I thought we'd take a look at some of the different decks, right? And the first one I'm going to look at is the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa DeCourt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Anybody knows Vanessa, find out, right? So we're looking at the Magician card, and I really love this deck. It's really an interesting take, and the artwork is not that it's simple, but it's innocent almost, right? It's a very sweet looking deck. So the Magician here is sounding his drum around a fire, and above him it looks like a constellation of the tools, right? And I really love this. On this particular deck, she uses the Hebrew symbols, and I'm having a hard time finding a listing of them and what they mean and how they correlate. So if you know of one, I would love for you to tell me about it, right? And then the Prince of Wands, which is the knight in this deck, he's on a lion, right? And lions are fire, right? The Leo, it's a very fiery symbol, right? And he's driving this chariot with fire coming out of it. And I just love this Prince of Wands, Knight of Wands combination. The next one I'm going to look at is the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. This is a very popular one, and the imagery in this is just beautiful. So for the Magician, it's Waite Smith reminiscent. It's like Waite Smith adjacent, but it's a reimagining of the art. It's really, really quite beautiful. Here is the Magician, and the Magician is, creating the magic in the light in their hands. We really can't tell if that's a man or a woman. Maybe I don't know, it doesn't matter, right? So with the infinity symbol, as with the Waite Smith deck, and then the Knight of Wands is one of my favorite Knights of Wands. And the horse is in the background rearing up. The knight is sounding her drum and the wands surround her. This is one of my favorite Knights of Wands. Knights of Wands, Knight of Wands. It's one of my favorites. I just love that card so much. So this is another imagery. This is more imagery that you can kind of get some inspiration from. If this is the deck that you use, I'd love to hear about that, right? The next one is it's my newest deck, and I really love it. It's the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane. And I have a thing for crows lately. I don't know what it is, but the Magician, again, I love imagery that's evocative. I love things that different things pop out at you at different times, right? This one is very much about the floral, like the Magician and the Waite Smith. Let me pull that back. The florals at the bottom, right? All of the tools that the Magician needs are right there for them to use and bring forth their magic. And then the Knight of Wands is a really interesting kind of the crow flying along with the horse, and the sun is it resembles a fireball, which is what the sun is, but I love that so much. And then finally, I thought we would look at the Rhythm and Soul Tarot. And this is by Stacey Williams Ng. She's a magnificent artist. And I was really struck with this deck because it's really about music. And in this deck, the wands are jazz. So the swords are axes. It's such an interesting deck. It's such a reimagining, but still very true to what the traditional, is it traditional? I think so. What the traditional Waite Smith is really about, but looks very, very different. So the Magician, I love this card so much, right? So again, he's got the tools, He's very cool looking. I really like him. These are all of the cards. These cards are based on real people. So it's really kind of cool that she took a lot of the people that she knows and made them into the character in the card. It's a very cool deck. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Get yourself a copy of it. I'm going to link all the decks below that I've used here. So if something strikes your fancy, go get it. Treat yourself. So with the Magician, he's got the floral up at the top. Everything that is in the traditional cards are, if not right here, they're very accessible for you to, if you don't know this deck so well, you can certainly think of the other decks that you know better, and it's enough that it's just a little bit different, a little bit more, I don't know, imaginative, a little bit more of a departure, right? So I love a little departure. I love the artwork in this. The Knight of Jazz, she is twirling her baton, which is on fire, which is a wand, right? In this circle, in this area of creativity. I think that this is so beautiful, right? A little bit different than the other ones that we looked at. So I'm really thinking about this so far this year. Today, it's January 5th, 2026, and I'm really thinking and considering how I can best bring the Magician into my year, bring the Knight of Wands into my year, magic and fire, creativity, what lights me up, what magical things light me up. So that's where I'm going this year. I'd love to hear about what you're thinking. I'd love to hear about if you use any of these decks or other decks you'd like to share. Do it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. As I said, I'm leaving the links to the different decks in the description. And I'm so glad you spent this time with me. I love talking about what I'm doing with tarot and what I'm doing with planning and what I'm doing with astrology. I have so many interests and I love to share them. So that's what I'm thinking. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, like, subscribe, whatever it is that you do, I would love to connect with you.